Part 15. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 141. The old turtle actually evolved. Yang Tian was surprised and happy. You know, even if he couldn't beat the Millennium Dragon Turtle, he wouldn't lose anything. Because he and Xian Yuanlong are teamed up to beat the Millennium Ice Turtle, which means that the first kill of the Nightmare level is stable and there is no escape. And on this basis, he killed the Millennium Dragon Turtle. That's incredible. The Royal Beast, and it's a low-blood Royal Beast. If it's the first kill, there is a high chance of exploding a royal weapon. By the way, the lucky body attached to the King's Legend only increases the explosion rate of gold and King level quality items by 10 times. But it is invalid for royal level and above. But it doesn't matter, because the explosion rate of the first kill is already very high. Xiao Fei, Lan Yu, Huo Wu, and others have already died in battle. But they still have the Grey-White God's perspective. They witnessed the whole process of the old turtle's evolution with their own eyes and couldn't help but be stunned. They were also very excited, because the Millennium Black Turtle was low blood, and Yang Tianlonger had a chance to kill it. However, the Millennium Black Turtle seemed to recover several thousand health points every second. The Royal Beast was indeed abnormal. If Yang Tianlonger's DPS was less than 10,000 or 20,000, there would be basically no hope. Roar. The Millennium Black Turtle's momentum was much stronger than that of the Millennium Ice Turtle, but its eyes were still scarlet. Even if it was a royal beast, it could not resist the absolute control of the little devil. The Millennium Black Turtle attacked Xian Yuanlonger frantically, and its damage was several times higher than that of the Millennium Ice Turtle. Fortunately, Xian Yuanlonger's tyrant body was still there, reducing damage tenfold. In addition to her dragon transformation, all attributes doubled, so that the Millennium Black Turtle still couldn't do much damage. If Xian Yuanlonger didn't have a tyrant body, it would probably be killed instantly. Tyrant body is extremely powerful, and cannot be repelled, cannot be knocked away, cannot be knocked down, and cannot be stiffened. This is no longer in the category of stiffness. Tyrant body is absolute, and is not afraid of anything except control. Buzz. Xian Yuanlonger swept the giant sword, blasting the air, and slashed the Millennium Black Turtle with a flat slash. 1. The damage appeared, but Xian Yuanlonger's flat slash could not break the defense. Xian Yuanlonger had 300 armor penetration, and when he attacked the Millennium Ice Turtle, he ignored all the physical defense of the old turtle, dealt real damage, and dealt 10,000 with a flat slash, which was very stable. But the Millennium Black Turtle was obviously stronger, and its steel guard must be more than 200 points, making Xian Yuanlonger unable to deal real damage. And the basic physical defense must be more than 10,000, making Xian Yuanlonger's flat slash unable to break its defense. But Yang Tian didn't know the specific attributes of the Millennium Black Turtle. The probability of anger evolution was too low. In his previous life, Yang Tian played Taixu for 5 years, and the number of anger evolutions he witnessed was no more than 10 fingers. Even, he had never seen the Millennium Black Turtle. With his strength and vision, if he tried it a few times, he could guess most of it. But now, he didn't have this opportunity at all. The Wrath evolution, especially the Wrath evolution in the copy mirror, was a flash in the pan. If you miss it, it will be gone. And now the Millennium Black Turtle is in a state of injury and residual blood, so there is no need to guess its attributes. In this case, no matter whether you can fight or not, you must fight. Charge. Bone Spear. 38,042. 2,906. The next second, Yang Tian and Longer released their skills at the same time. Their ordinary attacks could not break the defense, so they could only rely on skills. Xian Yuanlonger has no attribute attack, and her armor penetration is higher than the steel guard of the Millennium Black Turtle. She does not have damage reduction, it is just a matter of ignoring how much defense. So her skill damage is still very explosive. On the other hand, Yang Tian has a natural dark attribute attack, 80 points of dark strength. When he was fighting the Millennium Ice Turtle, his damage was already reduced. Now he was fighting the stronger Millennium Black Turtle, and he didn't know how many times his damage was reduced. Yang Tian's magic attack base was 5,500, and the LV4 Bone Spear had 380% magic damage, plus triple back attack damage, which was nearly 50,000 attack power. Now his damage was reduced, and he could only break the magic defense of the Millennium Black Turtle. But Xian Yuanlong's skills were limited. She had already thrown all her skills, but the collision happened to be on cooldown. She still had no skills, and the flat attack could not break the defense. She could only bear it, and there was nothing she could do in terms of output. In other words, the main DPS was still Yang Tian. Life Mirror. Yang Tian handed over his last trump card. This time, he chose to make himself a mirror image, thus reflecting the white muddy water. You know, the mirror summoned creature is reflected by the mirror image. The current state of the mirror image is the state of the mirror summoned creature. And Xian Yuanlong is now at low health and has no skills. Even if she summons the white Xian Yuan, it is useless. Yang Tian's instant skills have already ushered in the next wave of refreshes. You go over there. Yang Tian commanded the white muddy water to run to the left, while he himself went to the right, and the two sides pulled away. Hit me. Yang Tian roared, and he and the white muddy water rushed to hit the 1,000-year-old black turtle's butt. In 2 seconds, both sides threw 7 or 8 instant skills, and several critical hits were made, and the old turtle was hit nearly 120,000 health in total. Yang Tian played tricks, in order to protect himself. Compared with the white muddy water, he deliberately slowed down the frequency of attacks. In this way, the damage of both sides is exactly the same, but the DPS of the white muddy water is higher. Yang Tian was already prepared for Xian Yuanlong to die in battle. He wanted to use the white muddy water to seduce the old turtle's hatred and delay time for himself. At this critical moment, every second is enough to determine the outcome. Roar. The Millennium Black Turtle roared in pain, but its scarlet eyes still stared at Xian Yuanlong, showing the power of absolute hatred. Dragon Breath. The Millennium Black Turtle opened its bloody mouth, and immediately, a thick earth yellow beam of light exploded towards Xian Yuanlong, directly turning the fusion body into dregs in seconds. The next moment, the scarlet eyes of the Millennium Black Turtle returned to normal. It suddenly turned its head, and under Yang Tian's sinister smile, it was indeed looking at the white muddy water. Rainstorm Arrow. Yang Tian roared, and together with Bai muddy water, he pulled the bone bow in his hand into a full moon, aimed it at the sky above the Millennium Black Turtle, and fired wildly. Dozens of red energy arrows fell from the sky, like a heavy rain, hitting the old turtle crazily. Rainstorm Arrow is a level 20 group attack instant skill of the skeleton archer. Because it is a group attack, its range is huge. But the old turtle was so huge that all the rainstorm arrows hit it, which was of course a good thing. This is equivalent to the old turtle taking on a group attack all by himself. Dozens of arrows hit the old turtle, half of them critical hits. The combined attack of Yang Tian and Bai muddy water caused more than 50,000 damage, cutting off the old turtle's blood groove until only the last trace of blood skin remained. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 142. Roar. Feeling the passing of life, the Millennium Black Turtle raised his head and burst into a sad roar. Immediately, in its bloody mouth, bright blue light condensed. It lowered its head, biting into the bright blue beam of light, staring intently at the white murky water. Breath of ice. With a boom, a huge beam of light like an energy cannon directly shattered the white muddy water in seconds. At the same time, Yang Tian once again moved to the back of the old turtle, spent a gold coin to activate Lucky Body, and chanted the skill. He must use 3 times the back attack damage, otherwise, this battle will not be fought at all. Call out. Yang Tian pointed one finger at the old turtle's butt. The air at his fingertips burned and condensed into blazing dark fireballs. Like a barrage of cannonballs, they hit the old turtle's butt one after another. 3,320. 10,956. 10,889. 3 dark fireballs, 2 critical hits, a total of about 25,000 damage was done, causing the last trace of the old turtle's extremely strong blood skin to drop again, and finally return to 0. The Millennium Black Turtle screamed and fell heavily to the ground, causing snowflakes to fill the sky. With the sound of chi, the corpse of the Millennium Black Turtle burst into golden light and made a gorgeous explosion. Speaking of coins alone, a large area of snow was covered, including at least hundreds of gold coins. System, congratulations to your team for clearing the 10,000 years snow mountain, nightmare level copy. Team contribution. Muddy Water 51%, gain 1, skill point. Xian Yuan Longer 48%, gained 1, skill point. Fire Dance 0.33%, gain 1, skill point. It was not 0.31% before the drastic change, and gained 1, skill point. Blue Moon 0.25%, gain 1, skill point. Arrows Are Like the Wind 0.1%, gain 1, skill point. Blue Cat 0.01%, gain 1, skill point. A list appeared in front of Yang Tian's eyes. After looking at it, he smiled. Xiao Jin was not ranked. Because Yang Tian did not team up with Xiao Jin, even though he summoned it in the dungeon, it was still not a member of the team, so naturally there was no skill point reward. Such a list also floated before the corpse's eyes, feeling ashamed and surprised at the same time. I was ashamed because my team contribution was not even 1%, but the surprise was, just like that, I actually got 1 precious skill point. Immediately, the system prompt sounded again in the ears of all players in the team. System, congratulations on completing the first clearance of 10,000 years snow mountain, nightmare level. You will receive additional 100,000 experience points, based on contribution, 100 gold coins, based on contribution, 1 skill point, and 1,000 empire reputation points. System, a safe city broadcast announcement will be made for you and your team. Do you want to hide your ID? All anonymous, Yang Tian said authoritatively. He brings the copy, so he is naturally qualified. Ping and City Radio, congratulations to the player anonymously, for completing the first clearance of 10,000 years snow mountain, nightmare level, and gained an additional 1 skill point, 1,000 points of empire reputation, as well as experience and gold coin rewards. The system broadcast exploded 3 times in the sky above Ping City, causing an uproar. All the players in Ping City were stunned, and then started talking and screaming like crazy. Holy shit, nightmare level first kill. Anonymous. All 6 people are anonymous. If it is Xinyue and Aishi, they will definitely not remain anonymous. It seems that there are other top gods in the Xinyu Empire. 6 people got the first kill of the nightmare level. What method is this? I'm afraid Xinyue and Aishi are going to get nervous. The strength of those 6 people is extraordinary. 666, it seems that Xinyue Aishi is nothing more than this. Their top elite group has not even scored a nightmare level first kill, but it has been taken down by 6 great masters. This is a slap in the face. Countless players watched the excitement, and while making fun of the myth Aoshi, they also had a premonition of the coming bloody storm in the Xinyu Empire. Obviously, in their opinion, since those 6 great gods chose to remain anonymous, it shows that they are still wary of Xinyue Aoshi. On the other hand, if Xinyue Aishi knew their identities, he would definitely target them. The current Jinwu Empire has 2 tigers in one mountain. How can a third tiger appear again? Palace of Light, nightmare level in the copy. Izififan led the main team to the boss room. When he heard the announcement, he looked in disbelief. Their Xinhui is the third most powerful guild in the Chinese theater. The main force group he personally led was the strongest among the strongest, but even for them, it took them a full week to get to the nightmare level. He really couldn't believe that those 6 people could actually be one step ahead of them and get a nightmare level first kill. But he was shocked, but he didn't know the identities of the 6 people, so he could only wait quietly for the fish to surface. Forbidden Land of Fire, nightmare level in the copy. The Sword Emperor was furious when he heard the announcement. Muddy Water's strength, is it already so terrifying? The Sword Emperor was extremely afraid. He saw Yang Tian opening a king-level treasure chest, so he guessed that Yang Tian had a king weapon. But just because they have the royal weapon, can Muddy Waters and the 6 of them clear the nightmare level dungeon? Or has Han Shui teamed up with Xiaoyao, Lanyan, and Xieying? Damn, if that's the case, it's really tricky. The Sword Emperor took a deep breath and his face became extremely gloomy. In the 10,000 Years Snow Mountain, nightmare level dungeon. System, please assign the last 3 skill points. Note, each person can get a maximum of 2 skill points. As the system prompt sounded in his ears, Yang Tian directly assigned a skill point to himself, Xianyuan Long and Xiaofei. System, you led the team to win the first kill of the nightmare level dungeon. Congratulations on your title, Honorary Team Leader. Honorary Team Leader, King's Weapon. Level 1. Strength add 1000. Intelligence add 1000. Unique passive, can lead 5 ordinary teams. In Taigzu, a team, including the team leader, has a maximum of 50 people. That's an ordinary team. If someone leads a team to win the first kill of an expert level dungeon, they can get the title Charge Captain. If someone leads a group to get the first kill in a nightmare level dungeon, they can be awarded the title Honorary Group Leader. Wo Zififan and Jian Huang, they have long been the charge captains, and can lead 2 ordinary groups. Including the group leader, there are up to 101 people. Yang Tian is now the honorary group leader, and can lead 5 ordinary groups, including the group leader, up to 251 people. A group with more than 50 people is called a large group. The small group under the large group is called a squad, and the leader of the small group is called the captain, so the captain of Team 1, the captain of Team 2, and so on came out. In a guild, all members cannot hurt each other, and they can easily kill wild boss. But they have no advantage in dungeons. Guilds are guilds, and teams are teams. And only large groups will have huge advantages in dungeons. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 143. Imagine, what would it feel like if Yang Tian led a group of 251 people to brush the dungeon? If it was a group of masters, they could simply crush the dungeon. Even if it was a group of noobs, it could more or less increase the output. However, Yang Tian has a very high standard, and he doesn't look down on ordinary noobs. Putting honorary group leader into the title grid, Yang Tian's basic magic attack soared by 1100 again. Why 1100? Because the Dragon Empire badge increases intelligence by 10%. The royal weapon has appeared. I will treat everyone to dinner today, Yang Tian shouted. He knew that the corpses could hear it, and sure enough, the team channel was refreshed with a row of 666. Yang Tian rubbed his hands and strode towards the corpse of the Millennium Black Turtle. At a glance, there was 1 royal grade and 2 king grade pieces. Black Turtle Ice Armor, Royal Weapon. Level 20. Equipment type, heavy armor. Equipment requirements, meet 1000 points of strength. Physical defense, 2500-3800. Magic defense, 1900-2600. Strength add 1500. Stamina add 1500. Additional attributes, ice strength add 200, ice resistance add 600. Additional attributes, hardness, physical defense add 60%, stiffness add 60%. Additional attributes, iron guard add 150, magic guard add 150. Additional skills, ice array. Hiss, the effect of this royal weapon is a bit explosive. Yang Tian glanced at the attributes of the royal weapon and couldn't help but gasp. Black robe, black iron. Level 1. Equipment type, cloth armor. Physical defense add 3. Magic defense add 5. Additional attributes, MP add 13. Yang Tian immediately glanced at the black robe on his body and almost cried. This is simply a world of difference. For the Lord of the Undead, cloth armor is still recommended. Because cloth armor of slightly higher quality will bring intelligence and spirit. Of course, the recommendation is a recommendation, and the Undead Overlord can also wear other types of equipment, even heavy armor, as long as it meets a certain strength. Honorary Leader add 1000 points of strength, Blasting Bracelet add 300 points of strength. Yang Tian has already met 1000 points of strength, and in a rage, he directly destroyed the garbage black robe and put on the black tortoise ice armor. For a time, life sword, defense sword, and protection sword. Yang Tian had long decided to take the all-around route. With this royal weapon, he can finally use the undead transformation to play melee. His melee ability is stronger. Because most of his undead are melee undead, as long as they can hold up, his explosive power is absolutely terrifying. Because there are too many melee skills, he basically has no skill gap period, skills one after another. You can imagine how powerful his melee burst will be. In addition, he was a god-level assassin in his previous life, and his technical level was almost impeccable, which laid a solid foundation for him to play melee. System, congratulations on your equipment Black Turtle Ice Armor, which topped the China Warzone equipment ranking list. Do you want to hide your ID? Hide. Yang Tian decisively hid, grinning. Now that the royal weapon appeared, he could fully imagine the twitching expressions of those so-called great gods after seeing the black turtle armor. The fact was just as he expected. As the black turtle armor topped the list, the rankings of all the great gods on the China Warzone equipment ranking list dropped one place. Even the great god who happened to be number 100 was directly squeezed out of the ranking list. The great gods were startled and immediately clicked on the ranking list. The corners of the mouths of the great gods, including God's left hand, twitched. Level 20 royal weapon? Hey, now there are people who can fight against level 20 royal beasts? This is not scientific. God's left hand and others trembled all over, and they all felt like they had seen a ghost. From this moment on, they all felt the great pressure from Yang Tian, but they didn't know Yang Tian's existence. They even didn't know which empire Yang Tian belonged to. Because the ranking list didn't show the empire. Even the Sword Emperor had never thought that the owner of the black turtle armor was Yang Tian. How could a nightmare-level boss, that is, a king beast, explode a royal weapon? You know, the probability of anger evolution is extremely low. Yang Tian may have slightly increased the probability of anger evolution of hostile bosses because of the absolute hatred of the little devil, but it is still shockingly low. Now that Taixu has just been opened for a month, the Sword Emperor didn't even know that Taixu has the setting of anger evolution. Because of this, how could he suspect Yang Tian? China Warzone ranking No. 1, this range is too large. In addition to the 4 major empires, there are many hidden empires. Who knows who it is? After Yang Tian put on the black turtle armor, his whole body was shining with precious light, and it was extremely cool. He hurriedly hid the halo of the black turtle armor, but even so, the black turtle armor was infinitely cool from the appearance alone. It seems I have to buy a set of costumes, Yang Tian thought, stroking his chin. After a player has a costume, it will cover the equipment. In appearance, the costume is visible, but the equipment is not. Yang Tian's equipment will definitely get better and better in the future, so buying a set of costumes is also necessary. It's not expensive, the cheapest one is a few hundred yuan, and the most expensive one is only tens of thousands. Of course, you must use game coins to buy it, which is also a way for Taeju to recycle game coins. At this time, the team channel exploded. The corpses could not speak, and they were typing madly, asking Yang Tian what kind of equipment it was. Yang Tian smiled and posted the attributes of the black tortoise armor on the team channel, and named and smiled, "Huo Wu, what do you think? Abnormal, you, a necromancer, actually wear heavy armor, it's over, I may not be able to break your defense now," Huo Wu typed. "Don't worry, I won't PK with you, after all, I don't like to bully noobs," Yang Tian smiled. "Wu, I'm going to kill you." Ignore Huo Wu's anger, ignore Xiao Fei Xiao Feng's worship, and ignore Lan Yu Lan Mao's criticism of himself for Huo Wu. Yang Tian's mouth curved into an arc, and then he picked up 2 more king grade items. King's Intelligence Gem, king grade. Level 20. Additional, Intelligence add 1300. Millennium Ice Staff, King's Weapon. Level 20. Physical attack power add 100-150. Magic attack power add 888-1010. Intelligence add 1000. Spirit add 1000. Additional attributes, Ice Strength add 100, Ice Resistance add 400. Additional attributes, Magic Penetration, ignoring 200% of the enemy's magic defense. Additional passive, when attacking with ice attributes, there is a 10% chance of freezing the enemy, with a cooling time of 10 seconds. Yang Tian sighed, he couldn't use these 2 things himself. There are no fragments of king grade gems, or even higher grade gems. As a result, the rarity has increased by who knows how many times. Therefore, there is a gap between high-level gems and king-level gems. The average player may not be able to get a king-level gem in his entire life. However, the effect of king-level gems is not very strong. For example, a level 20 king-level intelligence gem increases intelligence by 1300 points. A level 25 high-level intelligence gem increases intelligence by 1250 points. A level 30 high-level intelligence gem increases intelligence by 1650 points. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 144. Yang Tian has 7 gem slots, including the ones that will be opened in the future, all reserved for energy gems. When necessary, he may get a few dark gems to change his outfit, but he will not consider the rest of the gems at all. Yang Tian plans to sell Millennium Ice Staff and King Level Intelligence Gem. Not through the auction house, but through the real black market, selling them for RMB. Because the auction house cannot hide the ID, if he sells the King Weapon, wouldn't it expose that he is the first to kill 10,000 years Snow Mountain, Nightmare level? If it is put on the black market, there will be an intermediary's small account to handle it, which is very stable. He did it as soon as he thought of it. Yang Tian clicked on the browser that comes with the system, logged into the black market account, uploaded the picture, and put it on the shelf for 500,000 RMB. The level of the Millennium Ice Staff is not high, and the attributes are not very good, especially it is only good for ice magic. This limitation is very large. Yang Tian doesn't want to be black, so it's better to get rid of it as soon as possible. After Yang Tian listed the item on the black market, the game side immediately received a private message from an ID called Dajianja 54862, Are you there? I am a staff member of a certain website. The transaction code is 88. After you confirm, please email the item to me. After the transaction of your item is completed, the website will deduct a 5% handling fee, and the remaining balance will be automatically deposited into your account. If no one bids for it within 48 hours, the item will be sent back to you by email. Thank you for your cooperation and I wish you a happy game. Very formulaic language. Yang Tian is an old hand, so he ignored him for the time being. He would talk to him after he was done with the work and exited the dungeon. Yang Tian continued to clean up the spoils. He also had 5 pieces of gold equipment, but unfortunately he could not use them. As for gem fragments, silver and bronze equipment, there were countless of them. Yang Tian roughly estimated that this wave of income could be sold for 1 million silver coins, no more and no less. After a wave of sweeps, Yang Tian led the team out of the dungeon. Of course, he took off the black tortoise armor first, and went shirtless, revealing his upper body, which was not strong but had obvious muscular lines. His tall figure, almost perfect mermaid lines, and Yang Tian's handsome face made Lan Yu, Lan Mao and Huo Wu blush. They all said "Puh" and turned their heads away. Lan Mao covered her face with both hands and couldn't help but sneak a peek at Yang Tian's muscles. With Yang Tian's extraordinary awareness, he naturally saw Lan Mao's little movements and quickly straightened his chest. "Look if you want to, I won't say anything." Lu Mang. "Wow, you have seen me naked, and you still have to bear the crime of Lu Mang. Get lost. Dirty. Dirty." Yang Tian frowned melancholy, looking hurt, but the 3 women despised him even more. Yang Tian contacted the staff member and packed the 1000-year ice staff and the king-level intelligence gem and mailed them over. Next, he can wait to collect the money. He doesn't think that a king weapon can't even sell for 500,000 yuan now. After finishing, Yang Tian started to put the proceeds from the copy on the shelves. There were too many things, and it took several minutes to finish. Level 20 gold equipment can no longer cause a huge sensation, so Yang Tian didn't need to ask Xiao Fei and others to help put it on the shelves, making it so obscene. "Brother Shui, besides treating you to dinner today, are there any other activities? For example, challenge 10,000 years Snow Mountain, Hell level?" Lan Yu blinked at Yang Tian and said mischievously. Yang Tian's strength has completely conquered her. If she hadn't liked senior brother Liu Yun first, she would probably have fallen in love with Yang Tian now. Even so, she didn't feel reluctant to call him Brother Shui. "Forget about the hell level," Yang Tian smiled bitterly. "Others don't know, but can he not know? The boss of 10,000 years Snow Mountain, Hell level is an ice dragon. As both are royal beasts, the ice dragon is much more powerful than the Millennium Black Turtle, and most importantly, it can fly. It can't be fought now." "Oh, what about the nightmare level of the other 3 copies?" Lan Yu asked. "That won't work either." Xiao Fei rushed to say, "As far as I know, Myth has set its sights on the Palace of Light, and will definitely get the first kill of Palace of Light, nightmare level today. And Aoshi has also set his sights on the Forbidden Land of Flame, and will definitely get the first kill of nightmare today. Everyone has exceeded level 21. The same copy can be challenged at most 3 times a day, from ordinary to difficult, to expert. It's too late." "There's another one, the Dark Forest," Huo Wu said. "Don't even think about the Dark Forest." Xiao Fei smiled bitterly and shook his head. "Brother Shui is going for dark strength, and the attributes cannot be changed. The Dark Forest nightmare level boss must be no less than the Millennium Ice Turtle, which means that the boss's dark resistance is probably 800 points. Brother Shui can't beat it?" "Hee, you are quite good at analysis." Yang Tian patted Xiao Fei's shoulder and praised. "Xiao Fei is really good. Not only is he very strong, but his analysis of the situation and his understanding of the game are also very strong. It can be seen that his insight and innate consciousness are very amazing. You know, although Yang Tian has only played Taixu for a few days, he played it for 5 years in his previous life. And Xiaofei, he has only played for a few days, and he has reached such a level. Obviously, people like him are the game geniuses that all players envy. Yang Tian couldn't help but sigh. Xiaofei was able to become a great god in his previous life. His potential was indeed extraordinary. Yang Tian felt that if he trained him a little more and helped him get some equipment, Xiaofei might be able to fight the Sword Emperor. In Yang Tian's opinion, once an assassin gets started, it's at least 50-50 against anyone. If you can win, and even if you can't win, you can still run. Although Yang Tian is a god-level assassin, he is also afraid of assassins. If he encounters an assassin of the same level, Yang Tian cannot guarantee a 100% winning rate unless he crushes him with equipment. Of course, Yang Tian's requirements for himself are too high. A 100% winning rate is something that ordinary people, even some great gods, probably dare not think about. Then, disband, Huo Wu asked. She looked at Xiaofei with some surprise. For the first time, she felt that this little boy had an extraordinary side. There's no rush to disband. We can still brush 2 copies of 10,000 Years of Snow Mountain, nightmare level. Don't waste it, Yang Tian smiled. Why, you still want to get the king weapon, Huo Wu laughed. There is no loss, at least we can get some experience. Nightmare level dungeon experience is still quite rich, right? Yang Tian said this, but he was not in a hurry to enter the dungeon. More than 10 minutes later, Yang Tian sold a batch of things on the shelf one by one. You know, all players in the Chinese war zone share this auction house, which shows how large the traffic is. And the things Yang Tian sells are relatively cheap, lower than the market price. In the early stage, Yang Tian pays attention to efficiency. After the level reaches the first line level, money will naturally roll in. Thanks to the rich girl Fan Lu Yutao, Yi Shen Yuguo for the 10,000 coin reward. 13 has been full-time for 3 years, and just happened to meet the third rich girl. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 145. Yang Tian took down 5 level 20 intermediate energy gems and put them on the auction house for 29,000 silver coins each. Then he spent 460,000 silver coins directly to buy 5 level 20 advanced energy gems. Muddy Water, ID. Level, 21. HP, 26770/26770, no blood recovery effect. MP, 64655/64600, 8400 MP restored per minute. Magic attack, 89,59,002. Skill points, 8. Yang Tian glanced at the attribute panel and couldn't help but smile. His current attributes are even more explosive. Fighting the 1,000-year ice turtle again will definitely be more stable. Yang Tian opened the auction house again, spent more than 60,000 silver coins, bought 2 skill books, and then studied directly. Summon Mummy, LV1 chant for 1 second, consume 260 MP points and summon a level 21 mummy, depending on the owner's level. Every second the mummy exists, 21 MP is consumed, and the maximum existence of the mummy is 300 seconds cooldown time, 60 seconds. Darkness Descent, LV1 chant for 1 second, consume 100 MP, make the area within a radius of 50 yards shrouded in darkness, and all enemies within the range have a dark resistance of -10, and the duration is 300 seconds cooldown time, 300 seconds. There is no doubt that Darkness Descent is a very cool skill. Yang Tian is strong in darkness, and his undead army is also strong in darkness. Now he has a buff skill that weakens the enemy's dark resistance in a large area. I don't know how good the effect is. Of course, Darkness Descent is only LV1 at present, and the effect is average. After the skill level is increased in the future, the range of darkness will become larger, and the enemy's dark resistance will be weakened more, which will be extremely disgusting. At this time, Yang Tian's money has almost been spent, but there are still assets worth 1.8 million silver coins in the auction house. After selling them, he is still a small local tyrant. His current attributes are already very high, level 21, 7 gem slots, all of which are level 20 high-level energy gems, which is simply a sense of déjà vu of RMB players. What he lacks now is the level. When the level is increased and the equipment continues to be updated, it will be even more coquettish. After everything was done, Yang Tian led the team into the 10,000 Years Snow Mountain Nightmare level copy again. The front was still crushing, and soon came to the boss room. Yang Tian summoned a small demon and let it merge with Xian Yuan Long Immediately, Yang Tian Long ran to the head and tail respectively. Dragonization. Darkness is coming. With the vicissitudes of Dragon Roar, Xian Yuan Long turned into a dragon man, and Yang Tian released the darkness coming. For a time, the sky within a radius of 50 yards quickly darkened and was shrouded in a ball of darkness, as if the end of the world had come. Devil Sucker. Crazy Dragon Attack. After the fusion released absolute hatred, Xian Yuan Long directly exploded with a move, directly knocking out 300,000 lives of the old turtle. Bone Spear. TP Bone Spear. Cursed Arrow. 82,042. 387,003. Critical Hit. 59,607. Yang Tian was multitasking, chanting and instantly casting skills. After chanting, he released the cursed arrow with a gesture. It took more than a second, almost no interval, for Yang Tian to release 3 skills in succession, and a total of more than 520,000 life. The old turtle's life value was cut by more than half in an instant, leaving only the last 230,000 life. Compared with the old turtle's total life, it is now considered to be residual blood. Yang Tian Long instantly beat the level 20 King Beast to residual blood, which is terrifying. At this moment, Yang Tian's DPS exploded, far exceeding Xian Yuan Long causing the old turtle to scream continuously, but it still stared at Xian Yuan Long with red eyes and attacked frantically. Yang Tian did not feel any pressure at all, spent a gold coin, and opened the lucky body. Yang Tian's body flashed with green light, and the shadow of the goddess of luck appeared above his head, long hair, sweet features, and a green wide-sleeved fairy dress. How perfect it could be. The only regret is that the shadow of the goddess of luck is about 3 meters long. Judging from her height, she has a perfect figure and curvy body, but she is much larger than ordinary humans. After all, the goddess of luck has gone beyond the scope of humans and is a god. After turning on the lucky addition, Yang Tian began to mindlessly get close to the old turtle's butt, enjoying the triple back attack bonus, and from time to time a critical hit occurred, and the damage was doubled by 3.3 times. In less than 3 seconds, the old turtle screamed and fell to the ground and died. Oh my god, kill a level 20 king beast in 3 seconds. Brother Shui, you. Xiao Fei and others looked like they had seen a ghost, with shock and disbelief on their faces. This guy is a pervert, Huo Wu gritted her teeth and said. Back then, in the offline auditions, Yang Tian abused her at level 13. But at that time, Yang Tian concealed his strength, making Huo Wu mistakenly believe that the gap between the two sides was not big. Huo Wu had always fantasized that one day when she became stronger, she would slap Yang Tian in the face. However, it was not until now that she woke up from her dream. It turned out that the gap between the two sides was not only big, but also like a chasm. Yang Tian smiled and walked over to clean up the spoils. Any first kill will have a big explosion, the second, third, or even 10,000 times, there will be no big explosion in the future. The old turtle only exploded a few high-level gem fragments when he died this time, and the rest were all coins. Although there were gold and silver, the number was only dozens. Yang Tian smiled bitterly and cleaned up all the spoils. He had already prepared himself mentally. The main purpose of grinding nightmare level was to gain experience and a little profit. That was already very good. Yang Tian chose to challenge again. He did it again in the same way and gained a lot of experience. Yang Tian successfully reached level 22. On the way, Shenhua Aoshi won the nightmare first kills of Palace of Light and Forbidden Land of Flame respectively, which triggered the system broadcast of Ping'an City. Izhi Fifan and Jian Huang also successfully became honorary group leaders. Of the 4 major copies of Ping'an City, 3 of them have been killed by nightmares, leaving only Despair Swamp in the Dark Forest. However, as Xiao Fei said, the nightmare level boss of Despair Swamp is not inferior to the old turtle. More importantly, its dark resistance is as high as 800 points. Facing that boss, Yang Tian will inevitably be weakened by various damage reductions and become a dog. At this stage, he can't grind it at all. Unless, invite Long Lu or other shield warriors with element designation skills to join the group. That's all for today, let's call it a day. Yang Tian took off his cool black tortoise armor, led the team out of the dungeon, and waved to everyone. Don't forget to treat us to dinner tonight. Huo Wu glanced at Yang Tian, crushed the teleportation stone and left. Ordinary teleportation stones are disposable. Only the teleportation stones of the Hidden Empire are permanent. The rest of the people waved goodbye and teleported away as well. Yang Tian stayed where he was, looking envious. Joining the Hidden Empire in the early stage will have the advantage of badge attributes, but before the empire is established, it is indeed a pain in the ass. After sighing for a while, Yang Tian set off to run towards Ping'an City. He wanted to buy a set of costumes to cover his cool equipment. Because of the title Super Explorer, Yang Tian's movement speed doubled when he was not in combat. Although it is still not as fast as riding Xiaobai, it is at least much faster than running by himself before. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 146. When a player hits an attack or is hit by an attack, he will enter an attack state. While in attack mode, players cannot use teleportation stones to escape, or even log off. Of course, players can be forced to log off, but in that case, the character will stay in the game for 5 seconds and stand still, making it very easy to be killed. In addition, if the red-named player is in an attack state, he cannot enter Sin City. After a truce, not attacking the target, not being hit by the target's attack, for 5 seconds, it will exit the attack state. In other words, the acceleration effect of the title Super Explorer is completely ineffective for Yang Tian in battle. When purely running, the movement speed is doubled. System, you discovered Ping'an City. Yang Tian quickly arrived at Ping'an City and went straight to the fashion store. The fashion store in Taizhou is similar to the clothing store in reality. There are also salespersons and shopping guides, but they are all NPCs. Generally, clothing stores in real life have fitting rooms, but there are no fitting rooms in the game, because players can directly put on the clothes, which is much more convenient than fitting rooms. Yang Tian possesses a magic energy conversion ring. Every 10 MP increase also increases 1 intelligence. One of his energy gems is equal to an ordinary mage's energy gem plus 1 intelligence gem. Because of this, Yang Tian's mana and damage are very sufficient. On this basis, if he wants to play the melee combat of Undead transformation, he may give priority to heavy armor, increase life, and increase defense in terms of equipment. A mage wearing heavy armor would undoubtedly look nondescript, so he needed a full set of attire. Of course, it was fashionable clothes. He didn't need fashionable jewelry. No matter how high-end the jewelry was, it was very small. As long as the halo was hidden, it would basically go unnoticed. For the upper body, Yang Tian chose a black open-collared shirt, unbuttoned, with the chest wide open, revealing his strong chest and perfect mermaid line on his abdomen. For fashionable neck, Yang Tian chose a black scarf. For her lower body, Yang Tian chose black slim-fitting cropped pants. There are also black fashion belts and black fashion boots. Yang Tian bought another black magic book weapon to dress up. The overall look has a yuppie feel, which is very consistent with Yang Tian's temperament and style. This is enough. But the equipment on his head is currently empty, and he will inevitably wear a heavy armored helmet in the future, that would simply ruin his image. In addition, the king's cloak behind him also looked nondescript at the moment. Fortunately, the fashion in Taixu provides transparent fashion in a very humane way. Therefore, Yang Tian chose transparent fashion for his head and shoulders. In this way, Yang Tian basically has a set of fashion. No matter what equipment he wears in the future, he will always have this image. Yang Tian looked in the mirror, nodded with great satisfaction, and then happily took out the money, a total of 1,130 silver coins. The two transparent costumes cost 1,000 silver coins, and the rest totaled only 130 silver coins. Brother Shui Yang Tian held a cigarette in his mouth. As soon as he walked out of the fashion store, he received an invitation from Tianxia to form a team. At the same time, Tianxia also sent a private message. Yang Tian agreed to Tianxia's invitation to form a team. The next second, a white light flashed, and Tianxia teleported to not far from the entrance of the fashion store. Players from the four major empires can use teleportation stones to find points on the map and teleport to any coordinates in the main city. In other words, the entire main city is equivalent to a huge teleportation array. Tianxia is about 25 or 6 years old. He is dressed in white and has a long sword on his waist. He looks handsome and elegant. Obviously, the white plain clothes are also a set of fashion. Tianxia is a level 28 blast swordsman, a first-rate master. While Yang Tian was sizing up Tianxia, he was also sizing up Yang Tian. Because of the team relationship, Tianxia could see Yang Tian's ID and level, but he couldn't see the rest, including occupation, equipment, and attributes. If I remember correctly, Muddy Waters should be a Necromancer, a level 22 Necromancer. He was actually able to crush Li Chuang's elite group in a single fight. Even under the siege of Brother Sharp, Jun Machu and others get off and escape smoothly. Tianxia glanced at Yang Tian with some confusion. To be honest, even he couldn't defeat Li Chuang's elite group single-handedly. Why, have you collected enough bones? Seeing Tianxia walking towards him, Yang Tian smiled at him. At this stage, due to the popularity of skeletons, the prices of inferior bones have been greatly increased. The cost is high, and the result is a drop in profits. In other words, if Yang Tian cooperates with Tianxia again in this business, the profits will not be as huge as before, but as long as the goods are available, it is still very easy to make millions of RMB. Of course, he takes the majority. If he can only earn 1 million, Tianxia can only earn 100,000. We will discuss business matters later. I came here specifically to apologize to you. Tianxia smiled. Apologize? Yang Tian was startled. My subordinate offended you a few days ago. His name is Li Chuang. Brother Shui, do you still remember him? Tianxia asked. No impression. Yang Tian shook his head blankly. Just kidding, what is my identity? Do ordinary people have the right to remember me? It's already good that I can remember you. Are your subordinates just eggs? Well. Hearing this, although Tianxia breathed a sigh of relief, his face felt awkward. He had the exact opposite idea to Yang Tian. The captain of our Tianmen is also a celebrity. We just fought a few days ago, and you don't even have any impression of him? You are too arrogant, Aren't you? Of course, even if you think so, Tianxia is very cunning and will not show it. Brother Shui, if you don't mind, it's great. Tianxia's eyes flashed with ruthlessness, and then he smiled and said, Brother, currently 3 of the 4 nightmare first kills in Ping'an City have been eliminated, and the last one is the Despair Swamp. I wonder if you are willing to cooperate with our Tianmen once. He had already cleared the expert level of the Despair Swamp, but he did not get the title of Charge Captain. Because only the first kill will give the title. As for the Nightmare level, his team can't pass it at all, and he doesn't think that they can pass it with Yang Tian. He invited Yang Tian just to test Yang Tian's strength. After all, he was too curious. Yang Tian was able to crush Li Chuang's team in a single fight. He wanted to see what Yang Tian was like. Oh! Yang Tian's eyes lit up, and he suddenly became interested, so he asked, Does your chief tank know elemental designation? The nightmare level boss of the Swamp of Despair has a dark resistance of up to 800 points, which Yang Tian cannot defeat. However, the boss's other attribute resistance is not high, especially the light resistance is almost non-existent. If there is a shield warrior elemental designation, change his attribute to light attribute, then you can crush it. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 147. Elemental Designation? Oh, yes. Tianxia was stunned for a second, then immediately responded and nodded. Necromancers are born with dark attributes. Facing a dark beast, if there is no elemental designation, they really can't do much damage. Tianxia looked at Yang Tian and couldn't help laughing. Hey, I just want to test your strength. Why do you act like you can really get through? Yang Tian didn't know what Tianxia was thinking, so he nodded and said, Well, we can cooperate. I'll take 6 skill points and all the benefits. If you agree, we can set off now. Tianxia was already dumbfounded, his eyes were bigger than a cow's eyes. Damn, is this kid crazy? A middle school patient? Does he really think he can get the first kill of Nightmare? Stop kidding, okay. Okay, whatever you say. Tianxia was trying very hard to hold back his laughter. He almost burst out laughing. He wanted to see what kind of face this kid would have when he couldn't get through. More than 10 minutes later, Yang Tian, Long Sci-fi came to the copy mirror of Desperate Swamp, and Tianxia had been waiting for a long time with the team. Seeing that Yang Tian only had 3 people, Tianxia was stunned. You want 6 skill points, shouldn't there be 6 people? We each take 2 points, and we can only form a 7-person team, Yang Tian said lightly. The first kill of Nightmare provides 10 skill points. If the team has more than 10 people, the top 10 team contributions will each get 1 skill point. Only if a team of 7 people is formed, each person gets 1 point, and there are 3 points left. Yang Tian, Long Sci-fi can get more. 7-person team, Tianxia frowned, a little unable to laugh, and even a little angry. Assuming that Han Shui can really get the first kill of Nightmare, he has 6 people, and each person gets 1 skill point, that's fine. But he only has 3 people, and each person wants to get 2 points, where does he put our Tianmen? With this thought, Tianxia's eyes gradually darkened when he looked at Yang Tian. As the president of a large guild, even if he has a smooth personality, he still has to save face. He was completely angry when Yang Tian looked down on everyone and didn't take him and Tianmen seriously. 3 people get 6 skill points? You kid is too arrogant. Where do you put our Tianmen? A 7-person team is playing Nightmare, you are dreaming. Everyone in the team looked at Yang Tian angrily and spoke ill of him. Yang Tian sneered, and at this time, he finally saw through Tianxia's hypocrisy. But he was too lazy to say it, and mixed the skill points first. When the time comes, he will naturally use his strength to slap Tianxia's old face. Team, let's play the expert level first, and then we can open the challenge qualification for the nightmare level, Yang Tian said with a smile. This kid hasn't even started the nightmare level yet, and he's already thinking about getting the first kill of the nightmare level. The team shook their heads and sneered, looking at Yang Tian with some pity. In their opinion, Yang Tian was probably mentally broken, or in the late stage of the second-year syndrome. Tianxia also looked at Yang Tian with a playful look, and then teamed up with Yang Tian and the other two. Because he was going to play the expert level first, Tianxia still led a 50-man team into the dungeon, and then began to push the dungeon. The main group led by Tianxia, the lowest level of which was also 27. His group was of a very high level and was one of the top teams in the Xinwu Empire. It was not inferior to some of the captain groups of Myth and Aoshi, and even better. They brushed the 20-level Lord Boss easily, and soon, they led Yang Tian and the other two to clear the expert level dungeon. System, your team has cleared the Despair Swamp, expert level. Congratulations on your qualification to challenge the Despair Swamp, nightmare level. As the system prompt sounded in his ears, Yang Tian directly withdrew from the team, and then signaled Xiao Filanger to withdraw from the team as well. After regrouping, Yang Tian pulled Xiao Filanger in and said to Tianxia, "You and the tank will join the team, and then just bring 2 more salted fish who are just mixing skill points." Since he had seen through Tianxia's hypocritical face, Yang Tian was no longer polite. That tone was simply charity. In fact, there was nothing wrong with his attitude. With his current strength, any shield warrior who could designate elements would crush the Despair Swamp nightmare level. Objectively speaking, he only needed to give the shield warrior a few skill points, but he gave Tianxia 3 more points. If he had seen through Tianxia's hypocrisy earlier, Yang Tian would not be so generous, and even he would not bother to bring Tianxia. But now that it has come to this, he is too lazy to think so much. Just give alms, and slap Tianxia's old face with his strength. Yang Tian's disdainful attitude was revealed without any disguise, which made Tianxia's eye muscles twitch fiercely. He took a deep breath and forced himself to suppress the rage in his heart. There is one thing that he thought the same as Yang Tian: it is too early to slap him in the face now, and let the facts speak for themselves. Laoma, Wuking, Evil Ghost, let's join the team. Tianxia named a few names, and then applied to Yang Tian for a team together. Yang Tian approved all of them. System, player Tianxia joined your team. System, player Laoma Shitua joined your team. System, player Wuking joined your team. System, player Evil Ghost joined your team. After Tianxia and others joined the group, they were suddenly startled, because Yang Tian's group was different from ordinary groups. In ordinary groups, the leader takes the first place, and the rest of the people are arranged in order. There are 10 people in one row. 5 rows in total. And a maximum of 50 people. But in Yang Tian's group, Han Shui is high above, occupying one row alone. And Xiaofei, Xianyu and Long and even Tianxia and others occupy the second row. Leader, Han Shui. Captain of Team 1, change your ways. Big group. Tianxia and others swallowed hard. They couldn't believe that Yang Tian was the leader of the big group. Could it be that he got the first kill of 10,000 years of Snow Mountain, nightmare level? Tianxia looked at Yang Tian deeply, and then shook his head in self-hypnosis. Now Han Shui is the leader of the big group, but it is not yet confirmed whether he is the charge captain or the honorary leader. Maybe he got the expert first kill of a level 10 hidden dungeon in the novice village. He is only level 22, and it is almost impossible for him to clear the nightmare level of the level 20 dungeon. Tianxia thought so, as if relieved. At this time, Yang Tian handed the position of team leader to Xiaofei, and the next moment, the team became an ordinary team again. Yang Tian already had the title of honorary team leader, so he wanted Xiaofei to get one too. You know, the honorary team leader is a kingly title. In addition to being able to form a large group, It also increases strength by add 1000 and intelligence by add 1000. A level 20 advanced strength gem only increases strength by 850 points. Sci-fi got that power and benefited a lot. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 148. Yang Tian knew that Xian Yuan Longer could also get the title of the leader of the group, one by one. 1000 points of strength, compared to Xian Yuan Longer, Xiao Fei undoubtedly needs it more. After Xiao Fei got the leader, under Yang Tian's instruction, he adjusted the item distribution mode to, the leader gets it. That is to say, all the benefits generated by the copy can only be picked up by him. System, you found the Despair Swamp. System, you entered the Despair Swamp copy, the challenge difficulty is, Nightmare level. As the system prompt sounded in their ears, Yang Tianlong or Xiaofei, and even Tianxia and others came to the copy. The maps in the Nightmare copy are very large. The first level of Despair Swamp Nightmare level is like a dark ruin, with puddles of acid water everywhere and a pungent smell. In front of them is a black mass of black spiders, more than 500 in number. After they found the enemy intrusion, they all made unpleasant and piercing screams and rushed towards Yang Tian and others. Tianxia suddenly drew his sword, waved his hand, and led his men to meet him. Tianxia was a 28-level wind swordsman. He swept out with his sword, and substantial sword energy surged on the sword tip, which had additional damage. Tianxia's flat slash was more than 10,000, and he could easily kill the black spider in seconds, which shows how strong he is. Lao Ma Shi too was the vice president of Tianmen and also the chief tank. His equipment and gems were probably not inferior to Tianxia. You know, heavy armor not only increases physical strength, but also strength. Although Lao Ma was a pure meat tank, he had a set of top quality equipment, which led to his good basic physical attack. He could raise his shield and push horizontally, and he could knock down half of a black spider's blood and kill it twice. Among shield warriors, his damage was already rare. Liu Qing was also the vice president and the chief assassin of Tianmen. His damage was not inferior to Tianxia. He had more than 10,000 damage with one slash. Wherever he passed, the black spiders screamed and fell to the ground. Evil Ghost was the chief necromancer of Tianmen. The profession of necromancer is very difficult. It requires both strength and financial resources to play well. And the Evil Ghost is a first-class master. He is good enough to control a mere necromancer. His mana is as high as 100,000, which is much higher than Yang Tian's 60,000. After all, Yang Tian's mana has never been an advantage. He can stack mana, and others can also stack mana. It's just that when Yang Tian stacks mana, he will also increase intelligence, so Yang Tian's advantage lies in damage and burst. The Evil Ghost mainly stacks mana and dark strength. The undead army under his command is no more than Yang Tian's. After all, he is a level 28 necromancer, who entered Taixu 2 weeks earlier than Yang Tian, and the level of his summoning skills is definitely higher than Yang Tian. At present, the Evil Ghost only summoned 3 teams, Skeleton Warrior, Skeleton Mage and Skeleton Archer. The number of each team is over 10. The Evil Ghost and his skeletons were all covered in black air. This was a special effect caused by the high level of dark power. Yang Tian's dark power of 80 points was far less than his level. It can be seen from this that the dark power of the Evil Ghost was at least over 100 points. The damage of the undead under his command was more than doubled. Any skill could easily kill the black spiders in seconds. Tianxia, Lao Ma, Liu Qing, and the Evil Ghost were all rare masters. Not only were they financially strong and well equipped, but their skills were also beyond the reach of ordinary players. Facing more than 500 black spiders, they did not feel any pressure at all. They slaughtered them crazily, and the black spiders could not even touch their clothes. The 4 of them alone could actually crush Despair Swamp, expert level. If any of the four of them were put outside, they would definitely be the object of crazy worship by a group of ordinary players. But in Yang Tian's opinion, they did not seem so awesome. Yang Tian winked, and Xiao Fei Long rushed out immediately. In terms of output, Xiao Fei was not as good as Tian Xia and others, but he could easily kill the black spiders with his skills. In addition, in terms of technology and consciousness, he was not inferior to Tian Xia and others. The madly rampaging black spiders could not touch his clothes either. And Xiao Fei's existence immediately attracted the attention of Wu Qing, who was also an assassin. As for Xian Yuan Long, she was even more powerful. Her skills were average, in fact, she didn't need any skills at all. As a level 30 Lord Life, in terms of attributes, it was enough to crush the level 20 monsters. She rushed directly into the monster pile, slashing 30,000 with a single sword, killing as many as came. The crazy black spiders rushed towards her, but they couldn't break the defense at all, and could only forcibly deal 1 point of damage. What's wrong with that beautiful girl? Tian Xia and others all looked like they had seen a ghost. In the last expert, they quickly passed by without paying any attention to Yang Tian Longer and Xiaofei. Now, they were stunned when they saw how powerful Xuan Yuan Longer was. They immediately used the team system to check her attribute information. Xuan Yuan Longer, level 30, the rest were invisible. Level 30? Hey, in our Chinese theater, besides God's left hand, are there any other players at level 30? Tianxia narrowed his eyes deeply. Before, he had never thought that Xuan Yuan Longer would be an NPC. But now, on the Chinese theater level rankings, only God's left hand is level 30, so Xuan Yuan Longer can only be an NPC. Automatically recovering health every second. It's an NPC, Wu Qing shouted, his expression became extremely complicated. Players can recover health every minute by relying on life gems. Only boss level monsters or NPCs can recover health and mana every second. They learned that Xian Yuan Longer was not only an NPC, but also at least an elite life. However, Xian Yuan Longer's flat attack damage was more than 30,000, can an elite do that? Don't joke. Lao Ma, change her dark attribute, Tianxia ordered. Lao Ma moved when he heard the words, and used elemental designation to change Xian Yuan Longer's attribute to dark attribute. The next moment, Xian Yuan Longer's flat attack damage was reduced to about 10,000, because she lost the increase in ice strength. 10,000 basic physical attack. Humph, that Xian Yuan Longer is undoubtedly a Lord Life, Tianxia snorted and said decisively. Lao Ma and the others nodded heavily, and then turned to look at Yang Tian. This kid actually subdued a level 30 Lord Life and made it his servant. It was terrible. It's just a level 30 Lord. It's no match for a level 20 King Beast, Tianxia said lightly. His team can crush a level 30 Lord boss. If it is a level 30 Lord Life, it will be a little more difficult to deal with, because intelligent life has its own will and hates freedom. However, even so, Tianxia is confident that he can lead the team to crush Xian Yuan Longer. Although he envied Yang Tian for having a level 30 Lord servant, he did not think that Yang Tian could defeat a level 20 King Beast with this. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God Undead Lord. Author, Ba Wang Shi-san. Chapter 149. Xiao Fei Long and even Tian Xia and others are all strong men. After a while, they swept the first level, and Yang Tian didn't even have a chance to make a move. Then the second, third, and fourth levels were also swept and crushed. At the entrance of the teleportation array connecting to the boss room. Snap! Yang Tian snapped his fingers and summoned the little devil, and then the little devil merged with Xian Yuan Longer. Little devil! The evil ghost was stunned, and his eyes were red with envy. The news that the little devil had absolute hatred had long been spread. As a high-end necromancer, the evil ghost certainly knew the little devil. Unfortunately, he couldn't have it, at this moment, seeing Yang Tian, who was also a necromancer, had it. He was of course envious and jealous. Little devil at 30 level Lord Life, at this stage, it is indeed a perfect tank. Lao Ma looked at Yang Tian deeply, and even he had to admit that in terms of tanks alone, he was not as good as the fusion body. However, even if it is absolute hatred, if the fusion body cannot withstand the level 20 king beast, it will be useless. Give me the light attribute, Yang Tian suddenly said to Lao Ma. 90% of the skills of the necromancer are born with dark attribute attacks. If you want to change, you can only change the nature. Enchanted crystal additional attribute attack. The so-called addition can only be added on the basis of nothing, but cannot change the nature. For example, professions such as warriors and archers do not have attribute attacks by nature. Once enchanted crystals, or weapons and equipment with additional attribute attacks, they have attribute attacks. Yang Tian is different. Even if he enchants light crystals on his weapons and releases skills, it is still a dark attribute attack. The same is true for elemental mages. For example, fireballs are born with fire attributes, and ice bombs are born with ice attributes. Even if attribute attacks are added, they cannot be changed. The elemental designation of the shield warrior is different. It can directly change the nature. Let him go, I want to see how much he weighs, Tianxia urged impatiently. In his opinion, a level 30 lord can't stand a level 20 king beast. Under absolute hatred, Xianyuan Longer will definitely lose when facing the king beast, it's just a matter of time. If you want to win, you have to focus on the output while Xianyuan Longer holds the king beast, and kill the king beast first in the limited time. However, their attributes are not enough, and there is no guarantee at all. Don't look at their high damage, that's just bullying the monsters. Monsters, there is no defense. And the health value, basic defense, hardness, protection, resistance of the king beast are all deadly. They don't have enough armor penetration, and they are reduced by various damage when hitting the king beast, so they can't do much damage at all. They can't do much damage, Yang Tian, a necromancer, can it? System, you have been designated by the element by the player. Old horse knows the way, and you have become a light attribute attack. As the system prompt sounded in his ears, Yang Tian smiled slightly, summoned Longer, and the two walked into the teleportation array side by side and entered the boss level. Tianxia and the others were startled, their faces were extremely ugly, they were left here. That kid didn't take us seriously at all, the evil ghost cursed. As a necromancer, he looked down on Yang Tian. As a necromancer, he didn't summon the undead before attacking the boss. What does he want? Play output like an elemental mage? Don't be funny, how many output skills can a necromancer have? Let's go into, damn, I really want to see his face full of frustration and despair after being abused. Tianxia spit fiercely, waved his hand and walked towards the teleportation array. Xiaofei walked in front of them, heard the words, turned around and teased, you know nothing about Brother Shui's strength. Tianxia and the others' faces became ugly again. They were already very unhappy to be ignored by Yang Tian. Now Yang Tian, a little brother, dared to tease them. Is he looking for death? The boss of the Despair Swamp, Nightmare level dungeon is a headless knight general riding an undead warhorse and holding a spear. Headless knight general with flame mutation, mutated king beast. Level 20. HP, 1,000,000/1 million. Skills, sweeping the army, war trampling, crazy slaughter, death charge, desperate stab. Mutation skills, flame burning. King beast talent, majesty. Mutated king beast. Yang Tian looked at the headless knight general with flames all over his body and couldn't help but be stunned. The normal headless knight general has dark attributes, but now the flame has mutated and naturally turned into fire attributes. In addition, mutation is not as simple as simply changing the attribute, it will also strengthen that attribute, which means that the fire strength of this mutated king beast is extremely high. And high fire strength means high damage. Ling Yang Tian called out, and Xianyuan Ling immediately rushed towards the headless knight general with a sword. At the same time, the little devil on her head screamed and activated the devil sucker. The next moment, the eyes of the undead horse under the Dullahan general turned red, and with a neigh, it rushed towards Xianyuan Longer with the Dullahan general. Death charge. In an instant, the speed of the Dullahan general doubled, leaving a series of surging waves of fire behind him, and then suddenly crashed into Xianyuan Longer. The violent force directly broke through Xianyuan Longer's extremely high stiffness, knocking her away and falling heavily to the ground, and her HP dropped by more than 100,000. Yang Tian immediately rushed up and hit the headless knight general's buttocks, which was on fire. Bone Spear. TP Bone Spear. Cursed Arrow. 55,005. 64,800. 133,650. Critical hit. Yang Tian used 3 skills in a row, dealing a total of 250,000 damage, cutting off a quarter of the king beast's life. At the same time, the headless knight general rode on the undead warhorse and rushed towards Xianyuan Long again, and then tightened the horse's neck. SHHH. The undead warhorse neighed, suddenly raised its hooves, and smashed down heavily. This smash was like something exploding, setting off a huge circle of flame shock waves, extremely gorgeous. Xianyuan Longer lost 100,000 blood again and fell into a dizzy state. Crazy slaughter. The headless knight general danced wildly with the flaming spear in his hand, and the flaming whirlwind repeatedly repelled Xianyuan Longer, and each time he could deal tens of thousands of damage. Summon the man-eating grass. After the headless knight general finished his crazy slaughter and knocked out nearly 300,000 lives of Xianyuan Longer, Yang Tian set up a green summoning array under him, and then the man-eating grass grew wildly, entangled the headless knight general and the undead warhorse under him. You know, the old turtle is huge, and the man-eating grass and the ghosts can't control it at all. So when he beat the old turtle, Yang Tian couldn't control it at all. But the headless knight general is not big, and the man-eating grass can be controlled. However, the headless knight general is full of substantial flames, and is burning the man-eating grass crazily. At this pace, the man-eating grass can only be controlled for half a second at most, and it will be burned to death. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 150. As king beasts, the headless knight general is an attack type, while the old turtle is a defense type. The headless knight general has high damage, high armor penetration, and high burst, while the old turtle has high defense, high protection, and high resistance. At this time, the headless knight general's flame mutation has higher damage and burst. With only 3 skills, Xianyuan Longer was beaten to a residual blood, with only the last 100,000 life left. According to this rhythm, the headless knight general can kill Xianyuan Longer in seconds with just 1 more skill. Fortunately, Yang Tian was quick-witted and summoned the man-eating grass to control the headless general. Crazy Dragon Guard. Xianyuan Longer didn't have time to think too much, and opened the hegemony in seconds. Next, she can reduce the damage of the headless general by 10 times. With her last 100,000 life, she can still hold on for a few seconds. After this, Xiaofei, Tianxia and others finally came to the boss room. Looking at the headless general with blazing flames all over his body, Xiaofei had no reaction yet, because this was the first time he saw the headless general, and he thought the headless general was like this. Tianxia and others exclaimed in unison, "Flame Mutant King Beast! Look, Xianyuan Longer is low on blood." The evil ghost laughed gloatingly, and Tianxia and others turned their heads and laughed sinisterly. They were angered by Yang Tian's arrogant attitude, and their minds became a little twisted. They now hoped that Yang Tian would lose. As for the first kill, skill points, etc., they don't care much now. They are all first-class masters. If they get the first kill and skill points, there will be plenty of opportunities in the future. In comparison, they care more about their face. Hey, wait. The mutant king beast has also lost a quarter of its blood. Tianxia was the first to find something wrong. Compared with Yang Tian, they only came in a few seconds later. A few seconds, the king beast has already lost 250,000 blood. It must be Xianyuan Longer who hit him. Han Shui is a necromancer. He didn't even summon a single undead at the moment. How can he have any output? The evil ghost said disdainfully. He looked at Yang Tian with some sympathy, thinking to himself, this kid is arrogant. I thought he was so awesome, but it turns out he is just a straw bag relying on women. Yeah. Tianxia and others nodded when they heard it, thinking that what the evil ghost said made sense. Hey, that tank, change it to an ice attribute for me, Yang Tian shouted at Lao Ma. The normal headless general has 0 light resistance, 800 dark resistance, 100 fire resistance, and 100 ice resistance. The mutated headless general has 100 light resistance, 100 dark resistance, 1600 fire resistance, and 0 ice resistance. Yang Tian didn't expect to encounter a mutated one, so he preconceivedly asked Lao Ma to give it the light attribute. Because of this, he only did half the damage when he hit the headless general just now. But if it is changed to ice attribute, the normal damage will be restored. Elemental designation, lasts for 300 seconds, no cooldown. In other words, Lao Ma can designate at will, but it is only effective for one target at a time. For example, Lao Ma first designated male A, and then designated male B, then the elemental designation effect of male A will disappear. However, Lao Ma was silent after hearing this. He was now eager for Yang Tian to lose the battle, so how could he be willing to help Yang Tian? He, is this all the tolerance you have in Tianmen? Yang Tian instantly saw through Lao Ma's thoughts and couldn't help but sneered. Change it for him, Tianxia snorted. Lao Ma then took action and reluctantly designated Yang Tian as an ice attribute. Open your dog eyes and watch, the next is my personal show. Yang Tian's mouth drew a proud arc, and he transformed into a skeleton archer. Armor-piercing arrow. 330,640. Yang Tian drew his bow and shot an arrow, which blasted out a stream of icy energy arrows, hitting the buttocks of the flame-mutated headless general, which actually produced a critical hit and dealt incredible damage. Oh, a critical hit. Yang Tian smiled, stretched out his hand and snapped his fingers. The damage deepened. 264,512. Another explosive damage appeared, and the headless general's HP dropped by more than 590,000. At this moment, only about 150,000 lives were left. Tianxia and others were almost scared to pee, and they opened their mouths so wide that they wished they could stuff an egg. Especially the evil ghost, his face twitched, extremely puzzled. Hey, when did the Necromancer have such a high output? Boss Tianxia, is he really a Necromancer? The evil ghost asked Tianxia in astonishment. A normal Necromancer would choose energy and dark strength, so that his intelligence would be very low, and the output skills of the Necromancer would not cause any damage. However, Yang Tian directly refreshed his 3 views. Teach him a lesson. It turns out that the output of the Necromancer can still be very powerful, even more powerful than that of the Elementalist. Well, he is really a Necromancer. He has now become a skeleton archer, which should be because he has used some rare skills of the Necromancer, but his damage is too high, which is simply against common sense. Tianxia recovered and figured it out in an instant. He is now almost certain that the first kill of 10,000 Years Snow Mountain, Nightmare level was taken by Yang Tian. Rain of Arrows. While Tianxia and the evil ghost were pulling each other, Yang Tian released the last skill and took the headless general away directly. With a hiss sound, the headless general, as the first kill, naturally had a gorgeous explosion, and all kinds of equipment, gems, fragments, and coins fell all over the ground, flashing with various colors of light. Just from the light, the headless general directly exploded 10 king grade items this time. The mutant king beast is so generous. At this moment, Tianxia and others' eyes instantly turned red. Unfortunately, they were not qualified to pick up items. In the entire team, only Sci-fi, the leader, was qualified to pick up items. System: congratulations to players Anonymous, Tianxia, Evil Ghost, Wuking, Lao Ma Shi 2, Anonymous, for completing the first clearance of Desperate Swamp, Nightmare level, and get an extra 1 skill point 1000 points of Imperial Reputation, and experience gold coins as rewards. Those who chose to be anonymous were of course Yang Tian and Sci-fi. As for Tianxia and others, they were eager to be famous, so how could they be anonymous? The system broadcast was repeated 3 times over the entire Ping'an city, shocking countless players, and they all looked at Tianmen with new eyes. Because Shenhua Aishi had just won the first kill of Nightmare. That's a giant guild. Seriously speaking, the main team of Tianmen is only slightly stronger than the captain team of the giant guild. There are even some strong captain teams that they can't beat. Now, Tianmen has also got the first kill of Nightmare, which shows that Tianmen has risen. Of course, that is just the idea of ordinary players. Some high-end players are skeptical. The reason for suspicion comes from the 2 anonymous people. You should know that the ranking order of the first kill announcement is the ranking order of the team's contribution, especially the first anonymous person, whose contribution exceeds Tianxia. This means that Tianxia has invited powerful foreign aid.